The final minute arrives like a storm rolling in, thick with tension and impossible to predict. The crowd leans forward in unison as every dribble, every cut, every movement becomes louder than the arena speakers. Both teams can feel the pressure tightening around them. This is the moment where mistakes change seasons and heroes are born without warning. Players shout switches, coaches bark commands, and the scoreboard glows like a ticking reminder that time is running out. The energy is electric, almost frightening, as if the entire building knows something wild is about to happen. With each passing second, the atmosphere grows sharper. The defense tightens, the offensive sets become more frantic, and every possession feels like it could tilt the balance of the game. Fans can barely stay seated. The coaches pace the sideline with eyes locked on the floor, trying to anticipate the chaos that's on its way. You can sense it through the screen. This isn't just the end of a game, it's the beginning of an unforgettable final minute. A minute where everything, absolutely everything, is about to explode.
Steph Curry, visibly laboring, fights through the pain as he tries to keep his team alive. Every step looks heavy, every movement forced, yet he pushes himself because he knows what's at stake. His teammates glance over their shoulders, hoping he can still create the magic he's known for. But tonight, his body refuses to cooperate. As he limps toward the sideline, the Warriors' situation grows even more desperate. The arena's noise fades for a moment as Curry disappears down the tunnel, leaving a wave of uncertainty hanging over the floor. Without their leader fully healthy, Golden State must improvise. Draymond Green looks to attack. Klay Thompson tries to free himself for a shot, and Jimmy Butler forces his way inside, everyone searching for a spark. But every option feels harder. Every shot more contested, and every possession more pressured than the last. With no timeouts left and the clock ticking down, the Warriors are trapped between urgency and exhaustion. The final moments are slipping away, and without Curry at full strength, survival becomes a steep uphill battle.
Just when the Warriors find a sliver of hope, the officials step into the spotlight. Klay Thompson drives hard to the rim, absorbs contact, and finishes, but the whistle blows. First, it looks like Curry takes the charge. Then the referees huddle, review the play, and overturn the call. What could have been a momentum boost suddenly becomes a painful setback. Thompson, frustrated, walks back grabbing his hip. Curry shakes his head in disbelief, and the crowd roars with confusion and noise. These razor-thin calls are defining the closing moments, and neither team seems happy about it. Moments later, Curry tries to force a drive of his own, only for another whistle to stop the play dead. This time, he's hit with an offensive foul. The frustration is visible, hands raised, shoulders slumped, eyes wide with disbelief. Warriors fans shout at the screen, Rockets fans celebrate the breaking, and the tension climbs even higher. Two close calls, two momentum swings, two plays that drain the Warriors and fuel the Rockets. And with time running out, every whistle feels like a punch to the chest.
With under a minute remaining, chaos takes control of the game. The Mavericks score to snatch back the lead, sending the arena into a frenzy. But the Knicks refuse to fold. They race up the floor, swing the ball around the perimeter, and find an open shooter in the corner. The shot arcs toward the rafters, hangs for a second that feels like eternity, and drops through the net. The game is tied, and the tension immediately multiplies. What was loud becomes deafening. What was intense becomes overwhelming. Dallas pushes back with urgency, but the Knicks' defense swarms every ball handler. A loose dribble turns into a diving scramble. Players crash into each other, and the ball ricochets toward midcourt as the clock bleeds away. Every fan is on their feet, every coach is shouting, and every player is fighting for one final possession. This isn't basketball anymore, it's survival. The final seconds dissolve into pure adrenaline, setting the stage for an ending no fan is prepared for.
The ball finds its way into the hands of the one player built for the moment. He takes a single dribble, rises, and releases a shot that seems to leave the earth. The arena goes silent, everyone frozen, breath caught in their throat, waiting for the ball to decide their fate. The shot spins gently, crossing through the lights and descending with the slow, agonizing grace of destiny. This is the moment players dream about, the moment that separates ordinary games from immortal ones. The buzzer screams across the arena as the ball hits the rim, bounces upward, and for a split second, time stops again. Then gravity takes control. The ball drops through the net and the entire building detonates into chaos. Teammates sprint onto the court, fans explode in celebration, and the opposing bench collapses in disbelief. This is more than a game-winning shot. This is a legend being written in real time, a moment people will replay 1,000 times and still feel chills. The aftermath is a tidal wave of raw emotion. On one side, players scream in pure joy, jumping, embracing, and trying to process the impossible. Coaches lose their composure, shouting and smiling as if the pressure of the entire season has suddenly lifted off their shoulders. On the other side, heartbreak hangs heavy. Players stare blankly at the floor, completely stunned, wondering how a game they nearly controlled slipped through their hands in the final heartbeat. The silence of defeat is just as loud as the noise of victory. When the moment finally settles, both teams gather for the handshake line, though the pain and adrenaline still linger in their eyes. The crowd, half ecstatic and half devastated, continues to buzz long after the final horn. Analysts rush courtside, trying to capture the reactions that players struggle to put into words. Tonight's game will be talked about for days, debated for weeks, and remembered for years. It was beautiful, brutal, and unforgettable. Everything elite basketball should be.
As the broadcast prepares to sign off, commentators replay the final moments again and again. They analyze every screen, every pass, every defensive rotation that led to the iconic shot. This wasn't just a regular season matchup. It was a collision of chaos, pressure, and brilliance. Nights like this prove why the NBA is the most dramatic league in the world. When the lights shine brightest, when the clock runs out, and when nerves turn to steel, anything is possible. As the arena finally begins to empty, one thing becomes clear. Fans will talk about this game for a very long time. The final minute delivered everything: suspense, heartbreak, triumph, and basketball magic. And if you want to relive moments like this again and again, you know exactly what to do next.
Long after the celebration fades and the court is cleared, the impact of this game continues to echo across the league. Analysts across every network break down how this moment could shift playoff standings, redefine matchups, and ignite new rivalries. Coaches study the film with a different intensity, knowing that one small rotation or one late-game miscommunication can decide everything. Players, meanwhile, reflect on the pressure-filled moments that shape the outcome, those split-second decisions that become career-defining. The winning team walks away with momentum, swagger, and a newfound belief that they can conquer any situation the season throws at them. But for the losing side, this one stings deeper than most. They replay the final possessions in their minds over and over, searching for the exact moment things slipped away. These are the losses that toughen a team, the kind that burn into the memory and fuel a comeback the next time these teams meet. Fans already circle the rematch on their calendars, waiting for revenge, redemption, or another explosive finish. And as the dust settles, one thing becomes undeniable. Tonight wasn't just a game, it was a marker in the season, a moment that will shape storylines, spark debates, and be remembered every time these teams step on the court again.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for more crazy NBA moments.